So I forgot to say, apparently my GFUEL code is 30% off, and I forgot about it. I might be in trouble, actually. Oops, I might actually be in trouble. Hold on, let me try to buy something and then use my code. Let's see this, the hype sauce. Add to cart, go to cart. Let's enter the promo code JEV. Wait, I don't think it is anymore. I guess I missed it. Whoops. Hey, it's still 10% though, unless I'm really bad at math. Fuck it. So, last night, I was kind of getting my ass beat on this game. I'm not gonna lie. I even said it in the video yesterday. I started getting my shit rocked. It was very, very bad. This game punishes you for pushing forward a lot. Wait, hold on, let's see what's new. See what's new in the beta. Friday's content. 6v6s here. Maps Gunrunner, Azir Cave, and Hackney Yard and Grozna. Okay, so they just added Gunrunner. No idea how to pronounce any of this shit, so feel free to correct me. I'm sure somebody's already typing. So we might end up in some headquarters lobbies, which is... Cyber attack overview. Team spawn on opposite side of the map. Each side has to pick up an EMP device and plant it. Okay, so sounds like search and destroy. Players can be revived by a teammate after being knocked down to 0 health. Yep, it's basically search and rescue. Some people were asking what my loadout is. I haven't really shown anything very impressive, but this is what I've been going with. So we go over to our AX50 here. Go to the gunsmith real quick. So I have a breacher device on. It doesn't really do anything. It only gives me a plus for melee quickness, so my character's able to fucking swing like Mayweather. I don't have any barrel on because there's the heavy barrel here, which gives you more damage and bullet velocity, which actually might make it seem closer to hit scan than you might think. Adding bullet velocity is a big deal, but given, if you really don't need it unless you're firing over a disgustingly long, you know, distance. Even then, you really don't need to lead too much. It's not like we're playing the BR mode. Yeah, I'm almost positive there's a fucking BR mode in this game. There has to be. So we got the normal barrel, the heavy barrel, and then the short barrel. This gives us a +2 in aim down sight speed. Not just 1, you can see 2 pluses next to that shit. And it gives us extra movement speed, which is great for being able to actually press forward. This short barrel will be perfect. But you lose bullet velocity and recoil control, which, you know, you can adjust to that. That's really whatever. Losing bullet velocity shouldn't be too big of a deal. I can't imagine a bullet's gonna move very slow in a, you know, out of a gun. No optic or anything like that. Me personally, I don't like using the scout stuff. It's just, it feels weird. I've always liked the reg scope more. Even back on Black Ops 1, if you play Black Ops 1 anyway, people would have a choice between the variable zoom and the regular scope. A lot of people ended up using the variable zoom and then putting it on the second zoom because it had supposedly less sway. But for me, I actually just kept the regular scope on. I just got used to it that way. I've always just been kind of used to it that way. I have the heavy stock on here just because of the, like, you know, the idle sway and stuff like that. If my centering is down and the idle sway just keeps me center as best as I can, aiming gun steadiness and everything like that is up. Basically, as long as I have my centering down, my bullet should be going as straight as I can get it anyway. Got a bipod on here because there's no negative to it. I mean, I'm likely not going to use it, crouch or prone recoil control, but whatever. If it's anything like Modern Warfare 3 when you go prone with sniper rifles, especially the Barrett, I'm just going to keep this on. There's really no reason to not have it on. Maybe if it slowed me down or something, I would take it off, but I don't really lose anything. Actually, my magazine, I keep my magazine completely normal, no extended mags, which sucks, but it hurts the aim down sight speed, so. And the pistol grip gives +1 to your ADS and sprint to fire speed, which is great. This is amazing. So, recon perk, which I completely didn't even notice that I was unlocking new things to put on my weapon yesterday. I have recon on, which is basically like marksman, because it's pretty difficult to see people on this game. You could go FMJ, I think that's probably the second best, or maybe sleight of hand. It's FMJ, sleight of hand, or recon. The other one, don't really care for much. Presence of mind gives you an infinite hold breath, which is great and all. Again, if you just use attachments that have steadiness, you don't even have to hold your breath. I hardly hold my breath on this game. So we just go recon, so I'm able to get as much information in front of me as I can by seeing nameplates better. So at this point, we can't use this short barrel until our weapon is level 21. We're currently capped at level 20 for this weapon right here. It's stuck there. So the plan would be is to run that pistol grip plus running the short barrel. If you want to go even faster, then you can change the optic as well if you want it. But once we get this pistol grip and we get the barrel, it's gonna be like +3 to ADS, which is just, it's gonna be great. So I know yesterday I was griping on like the whole, you know, how slow it is and everything like that, but that's simply, again, because we don't have all the attachments. We don't have everything available for us. So it's really hard to tell what shape sniping is actually in before we're able to get everything we actually need. I got rid of the cruise missile, the whole animation coming in is really fucking cool, but it takes way too long, all for like maybe a kill or two. Oh, my teammates scared the fuck out of me. Should be spawning over there. Okay, we got UAV now. A lot of heated discussions on this whole mini-map shit as well. It's there's a lot of people like really arguing with each other. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to sound ignorant or mean about this shit. So there's this whole argument on whether or not the game should have this radar and stuff like that. And now here's the thing. Here's basically all sides of the arguments that I've been reading. For me personally, as somebody that's been playing this game from the fucking start, biggest gripe with this game in general, past anything else, guns, maps, whatever, the biggest issue that people seem to be having with this whole thing is the fact that there is no radar. Now, at the moment, we have the UAV going, and the game actually seems to be going pretty well. It's pretty eventful. You can tell where people are right there. I can finally see where the fuck he is posted up instead of me being at the disadvantage when he decides to post up and do nothing. Like, I've just been trying to basically layer all of the UAVs on top of each other. I just get a UAV, save it if my team has a UAV, call it in every single time the UAV goes down so my team can try to have a constant UAV throughout the entire game. This UAV is such a huge advantage over the entire enemy team that it's basically a crutch kill streak. Before it was stopping power, where it was like a, you know, a crutch perk and shit like that, and I'm sure other ones, you know, you could have the opinion on what is and isn't a crutch and whatever, but getting the UAV is absolutely a crutch.
Allied cruise missile launched.
Can't see.
Got a chopper gunner right there at the end. I realized with no radar, I was sitting here thinking like, oh, all the possibilities of somebody being here and being there and all this other shit. And then, I don't know what happened, but then something flipped in my brain where I was just like, this is not how I usually play the game. I'm just gonna try to play the game to the best of my knowledge and what I think and just stop overthinking it because there's no radar there. And I immediately started playing better. Now, here's the thing. Now, although that's a good argument to make for it, not everybody is gonna be like that. A lot of people just naturally will play in a different way than how I do, right? I've been playing Call of Duty for over a decade at this point with a radar on the game, or a mini-map, sorry. For me, obviously, I'm maybe a little biased here, but this game seems to flow way better with the radar happening. Whenever a UAV is overhead, this game seems to completely change. And our radar is gone. So now, immediately, it's gonna slow down just exponentially. I'm like looking the fuck around like this whole confusion part was just never part of the entire equation. It's not about me not knowing the map at this point. It's about me still not knowing where the fuck my teammates are. Minimap has been in Call of Duty ever since I could remember, in all of the core modes anyway, and the core modes are clearly the most popular game modes played. This man has a shoddy secondary. That's how fucking insecure he is. When we have the radar up on the screen here, you can see clearly where all of our teammates are, how the map is laid out, and where all of the enemies are in conjunction to where you are. I know exactly where I can and cannot go. I taught myself in this scenario what is and isn't the best place to go according to where they are standing. And Call of Duty has always been about that. It's all about still positioning yourself in the stronger, better positions than other people, even though you all know where each other are. It's a skill to be able to read that radar, and it's not just about chasing dots. You can still be bad at just chasing dots. So the arguments that I see here, not having a radar creates campers. More people that just want to sit around and just hide because, you know, they're harder to find. You know, you don't have a radar to be able to figure out where they are, or where they're firing from, or anything like that. Now, we do have the little compass above our head, but honestly, that shit it's really not that useful. Sure, it's just a directional thing that tells me something, but it shows nothing about depth. It shows nothing about how far away they actually are. It just doesn't show enough information to warrant people actually stepping forward and chasing, quote, chasing those dots. There's not enough information to do that. So in turn, what happens is already inexperienced players will inherently camp because number one, they don't know the maps. Number two, they probably don't believe in their ability to be able to actually shoot and kill people. And number three, they don't even understand the importance of even knowing where your own teammates are. Now, being able to understand where your teammates are helps you immensely to understand where the enemy would be. Right now, my entire team is spawning right here. I know that we're over here and we have control of this area with the C flag. Anything from this point all the way across the map is in control for them. We know this. Once we start pressing forward, once we start getting kills, once my teammates start getting killed and spawning in different locations, and I'm still alive, I am left with next to no information about where anybody is anymore. Like that guy, it was just a guess that he was actually gonna be there. I had a hunch that maybe somebody is still in that building. Okay, we got the A spawn over here, so I know that we're safe on this side of the map. Only right here. Everywhere else is still wide open without knowing shit. What this does is create doubt, not exactly understanding where you need to be. If you were in actual war and they told you, hey, the enemies are over there, but we don't know exactly where, are you gonna step the fuck over there? No! People can just change their name to anything that they want on here, so I wouldn't sit there and follow around anybody that's named Jev. The argument that I saw for this was like, hey, just get good and learn the maps and just pay attention to where your teammates are. The issue is that it's simply just not enough to make people move. I'm not saying giving us a radar is gonna stop campers. Campers have always been a thing, but this makes it basically, it's another sheet of protection for them. It's another form of stealth. It's as if everybody has Ghost on, and Ghost isn't even out yet. People can't even use Ghost at the moment. See, I have personal radar. Even just having this without the scan over it means so much more. But I don't know exactly where they are at all times. I would have to constantly, if I'm in the center of the map, I would have to do full 360s to try to figure out where all of my teammates are. Oh, there's a guy over there in that corner, so I don't want to challenge on the street anymore, especially since people just continue to stare at one thing because they know they're safe. The only thing I can do is try to approach from a different position and hope that he hasn't moved by then. This is what we're doing with our time. We're screaming! Are we screaming? Basically, I have to take this extra time to sit there and spin in circles to try to figure out, okay, I got 3 teammates around me, still have no idea where my team is spawning at. Although I've been getting the hang of it and I've been able to predict where people are more often, it's still just a frustrating experience trying to figure out exactly where everyone is. And sure, you can make all these, you know, comparisons and talk about different games and how they don't have radar or how you're a hardcore player and all that shit, but base Call of Duty, this is just not how it's been. And I know that people are gonna say, oh, well, this is why we get the same game every year. Don't blame the minimap for that. If they choose overall to just not have it in the game, obviously I will adapt. I don't have a choice. I will adapt to it. But the thing is, I don't know how many people are going to be willing to do the same thing that I'm doing, or all the other people that are saying that they're going to adapt to it. I don't know how many of them are actually going to stick true to that. And the game may be cross-platform and all this other shit, but hey, there's only so many times of you getting randomly blindsided by so much random shit. Now, again, that's very, very extreme. It's only literally been one whole day since the thing has come out. I'm like 90% for radar, 10% against radar. You know, it's fine if they don't, but the game honestly would absolutely play and flow way better. It would be faster, people would get more kills, people would be able to do so much more if this minimap was just there at all times. Giving more people more information gives them more confidence. More confidence means they press further. It speeds the game up, and that's exactly what we want. When we have a game that is complete chaos, and I asked for this, by the way, I want these kill streaks to be strong as shit. All the guns strong as shit. Even all the little Timmies out there can go and get, like, you know, their 4 or 5 man sprays if they get lucky enough, like Modern Warfare 2. That was fun, right? This whole thing of not having a radar basically just makes it more frustrating than rewarding. Now, will putting the minimap in the game keep people from camping? Absolutely not. But it'll definitely entice people that want to play more aggressively to actually play aggressively. So Charlie Intel ended up putting out a tweet, I'm sure other people have done polls as well, of minimap versus no minimap. And the screenshot that I took that had over 50,000 votes, over 85% of people will prefer the radar. I mean, I just think that's fucking overwhelming. That is just an overwhelming response. And sure, it might be a bunch of emotional people just overreacting, overthinking it, and just being like, God, this whole game's just a camp fest. Clearly, they've only had one day to learn the maps and what people are gonna do and all this other stuff, but it's not gonna change, man. It's really not. I'm telling you right now, it won't change. This might sound like a stupid point, but let's put it like this. Just hear me out, okay? The lack of radar is so pivotal in Call of Duty that when one team has the radar and the other team does not, the discrepancy with having radar versus not having radar is so big. Hear me out on this. It's so big that they thought in previous Call of Duties that a counter UAV is powerful. And it is. The lack of radar means so much that they actually even made it a kill streak. Now, that might just sound like a stupid fucking point, but the fact that you're able to even weaponize the fact that you're denying information from people, I feel like that just says enough. It's too overwhelming in the favor of the minimap versus no minimap. That's just my opinion. I feel like Call of Duty will just play better in general. It'll be faster paced. The gameplays will be more fun to watch. The streams will be more fun to watch. The montages will be more fun to watch. The more those things are more fun to watch, view, and play, the more people will continue playing it throughout the year. The more people that continue playing it throughout the year, the more people have possibilities to be able to just enjoy the game more, longer, just everything. I just don't see the minimap hurting the game in general. There's just really no reason to take it away, and I'd actually love to hear the reason behind taking it away. Again, not gonna not buy the game or play the game if they decide not to add it. Did see the feedback that they were talking about where they were saying they were gonna test it out, trying to have the radar always on. I'm gonna guarantee you already, without even playing the game modes, it's gonna be way more fun. Even if I get completely shit on, I will like that mode more. I just will. So let me know down in the comment section anyway. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and yeah, it's been Jev, guys. Later.